All it took was one vampire sharing his bed with one bear to send Baldur's Gate 3's sales skyrocketing.
What?
Baldur's Gate 3 currently sits at number 4 on the Steam bestsellers chart, an impressive feat given that the game was sitting outside of the top 75 just a few weeks ago. While news that the game was getting released early on Steam helped push sales up the chart, it was a panel from hell hosted by developer Larian Studios that really pushed the game into the top echelon of Steam games. While the panel from hell showed off a new player character called the Dark Urge that seemed to tie back to earlier Baldur's Gate games, it was the romance options in Baldur's Gate 3 that really got people talking. Now, people will have the ability to romance a variety of characters in the game, either as their custom character or as one of the playable party characters in the game. The panel from hell showed off a couple of romance scenes from the new game, including one featuring party members Halsin and Asterion that, well, really got the internet stimulated. You see, in the scene, the druid Halsin briefly loses control of his abilities and transforms into a bear, which segues into a choice for the player controlling Asterion. Players could either comfort Halsin, be freaked out by Halsin's lack of control, or ask Halsin to change back into a bear before continuing their intimate moment. The panel, of course, chose the latter option, and Asterion strokes Bear Halsin's face before lying down on the ground. The scene then cuts to a squirrel who watches the bear on vampire action and literally drops a nut in shock. While bear sex makes for a great headline, and boy how did we use that, this scene actually showcases just how, deep the choices in Baldur's Gate 3 goes. It seems that Larian Studios really did try to recreate the D&D experience as much as they could by giving players some non-conventional options and lots of choices throughout the game. Now sure, having sexual congress with a consenting bear is certainly played for laughs, but let's be real, there are probably a lot of D&D players who probably have a raunchy story or two like that to share when playing a game with their friends. Since showcasing the game's ability to shag a bear, Baldur's Gate 3 flew up the charts and dominated an entire video game news cycle, which is frankly pretty good for a PC/PlayStation 5 game that's been out in early access for years. It seems that Hasbro really knew what they were talking about when they predicted that Baldur's Gate 3 would help their bottom line in a earnings call earlier this year. Perhaps the CEO of Hasbro saw the bear sex scene too. Now, are you giving Baldur's Gate 3 a try? Does the prospect of having a relationship with a man who can transform into a bear move the needle for you at all? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.